Brosnan was released from jail today on conditions that we do not know at this time. He won't enter a plea until the case goes to grand jury. And this 23-page document details the allegations against him. Senator Bernie Sanders does not have any official campaign events scheduled for today, but he did make an appearance last night with his doppelganger Larry David on Saturday Night Live. We were watching as the numbers started to come in, each polling place one after another, similarly rejecting the chance to up the minimum wage here in Portland to $15 an hour. It is time for the waiting game for these candidates who are certainly on edge this morning. But today is all about the voter, and some of them here in the Granite State have already spoken. In Dixville, Notch. And you know, there haven't been any reported sightings of Wesley the Snake since those two police officers last week, so you can probably hear them behind me and you can definitely see them. That's the Westbrook City Band, and they aren't letting any snake silence their music. When we talk about augmented reality, this is exactly what we mean. You are looking through a cell phone at exactly what you would see if you were playing the game right now, and this is one of the characters that you would want to collect. There are a lot of characters. The rule of thumb under the Maine Seaweed Council is that each harvester can take up to 50% of a bed once every 3 years to allow for a regrowth. Or you can choose to take a much smaller percentage of the bed once every year. Candidate. Right. I spoke to a man. One issue, an independent voter from Salem. He was at a very small, intimate town hall with Donald Trump. And I asked him, what is going to sway your vote? Springtime in Maine, April. Just gorgeous. No, all kidding aside, we're here in York where the snow is still falling.
That ice storm in New England, one of the worst since 1998. We want to check in Bangor, Maine, WMTW's Katie Thompson.
Hi, Ginger. The story here in Auburn, Maine is the same one that we've seen the past couple of days all across northern New England. Check this out this morning. A thick coating of ice on all of the trees. The conventions may be over, but the nominees are not slowing down anytime soon. As Andy Rose reports, with just over 100 days before the election, both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump hit the campaign trail running. Back here at home, Maine's most famous crustacean is honored this weekend in Rockland at the annual Maine Lobster Festival. A Thompson officer searching for an alleged drunk driver rear-ended by the suspect. All right, that is Eric Trump, son of Donald Trump, calling in from New York City this morning. Eric, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Jacques was here at this Sanford Hannaford last night when he tried to purchase 4 $300 gift cards using 4 separate transactions. A store employee happened to be walking by at the time, heard what he was saying, and sensed something wasn't right. That employee called Sanford police, who began to follow the suspect in an unmarked car. They ended up at another Hannaford, this time in Waterboro.
So that was kind of a big tip-off, because usually if you stop at one, you don't need to stop at another.
Jacques' gift card purchases were denied. He was confronted by police and arrested. 40 credit cards, all in his name, were seized, along with almost $5,000 in gift cards.
They could just be dozens of people who have probably had their card numbers stolen through an ATM skimmer or something of that nature, and they likely don't even know they're victims yet.
Detective Sergeant Matt Jones says this could be part of a much bigger operation, most likely out of New York. It's something the state of Maine and retailers like Hannaford have dealt with before.
It's bigger than this one individual, and just because this individual was arrested doesn't mean tomorrow there's not going to be somebody else doing the same thing.
Jones is urging all card holders to keep a close eye on your bank statements while they continue to investigate. As for Jacques, he's being held on $5,000 bail. If he makes that, he'll be allowed to travel back to New York, but will have to check in weekly with Sanford police. In Sanford, I'm Katie Thompson, WMTW News 8. I'm going to start out by saying this story isn't about Bernie Sanders. It's not about any of the candidates, actually. See this guy? This is Bruce from Colorado. And visiting the Granite State ahead of the Tuesday primary is kind of his thing.
Yeah, just every New Hampshire primary since 1988 with the idea of meeting the next president.
8 times over the past 30 years, Bruce and a group of close friends have come here, a trip they didn't anticipate would turn into tradition.
Let's go to New Hampshire just for fun and see if we can maybe meet a candidate or two. And we realized not only could we meet them, we could shake their hands, and we met all of them.
Now it's kind of like a game. Attend as many of the candidates' events as they can and play offense through the crowd for that one-on-one contact. Interestingly enough, it helps them keep an open mind.
When you meet them, you're taken by them. And I've walked away from so many different encounters saying, wow, he was great or she was great.
It's all about the handshake.
It's all about the handshake.
Bruce and the group now bring along their kids. And this handshake thing, it's catching on. Who's giving you the best handshake?
Carly Fiorina.
What about the handshake? What was it?
It was just like she looked me in the eye and like she had like a firm grip, but she didn't like try and like let go.
So let's reenact the Carly Fiorina handshake. You be Carly, okay?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Charlie.
Hi, I'm Carly.
Oh, that was good. Today, they're hoping to check another one off the list.
So this will be interesting. Bernie will speak. We'll try to shake his hand.
And they did. A unique and charming tradition holding strong. Was it a good one?
Very good.
5 minutes was all it took for this Silverton powerboat to become engulfed in flames.
I grabbed a fire extinguisher and tried to put them out, but the smoke was so thick. I mean, you couldn't see what you were doing, and you certainly couldn't breathe.
Timothy Lenz says he had no choice but to abandon ship.
I'm just glad that a fisherman come by, saw me. Because I was in the little dinghy, rowing away as quickly as I could.
A Good Samaritan pulled him to safety and called police.
When we got there, we saw a pleasure boat that was fully engulfed in flames.
But this wasn't just a pleasure boat for Lenz. It was his home.
Everything I owned was on that boat. My military records, driver's license, military ID, everything. My wife's ashes.
He bought the boat in 2013 after his wife passed away.
So it's all down under now.
The boat was so damaged, it sank. But aside from patches of singed hair on his head and arms, Lenz made it out unharmed.
He reluctantly agreed to have medical evaluation.
Oh, yeah.
But they found that he's completely fine, is very rewarding.
The military veteran says he's had some close calls while serving overseas. This, however, was the closest. He's lucky, he says, to be alive.
If I had stepped into the boat any deeper with that black smoke, I probably wouldn't have come back out. They probably would have found me.
And it's unclear right now if Lenz has any plans to try and go down and retrieve those items or the boat itself. He says he has a brother nearby that he'll stay with for now. And right now, the cause of that fire is under investigation. We're live in Saco. I'm Katie Thompson, WMTW News 8.